Hello everyone, hi, I'm Karen Paler. I'm the Operations Director in Lisa's team, and I'm here today to interview Erika Chalkley, we're going to talk about her experiences of the One-to-Many programme, which she's previously done to give a bit of insight. So I personally started with Lisa's company last summer. I haven't been through this process. I haven't firsthand seen the Race to Recurring Revenue Challenge. I haven't been through the One-to-Many process in its entirety. So I'm really, really excited to hear about your journey and how it's impacted you, Erika. Would you mind just first of all telling us a little bit about you and your organisation?
Sure, yeah. So we'll get through this together, you and I, Karen, this interview.
We will. Not business.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm Erika. I'm an embodiment coach. I am a meditation teacher, and I help women really undo the embodied conditioning we inherit as women, which sort of undermines our confidence, means we walk around sometimes feeling never good enough no matter what we do, keeps us prioritizing other people's needs, putting other people's dreams before our own, and over-efforting, overworking, burning out. So I help women undo that conditioning as it lives in our bodies. I have two kind of critiques of the main kind of coaching world, or ways that I'm different, which is, one is like I see culture playing out. Like I see, these issues that we have, like around maybe not feeling confident, or not feeling like we've got something to offer, or maybe feeling like we have to be amazing in order to be worthy, are bigger than just us. You know, they didn't begin with us, and they kind of affect big groups of women in the world. And the second is, they exist in our bodies. You know, so one example might be the opposite of man spreading is woman minimizing. Yeah, that's a way of being in our bodies, which smallifies us, which means that we're less able to access our confidence, less able to speak up, take up space. So I work with the body, knowing that it's not separate from the mind. Yeah, so that's what I do. And I work with women who've got ambitions and dreams, but feel like something's stopping them from really going for it.
That sounds amazing. Thank you so much for that. It's fascinating to hear everyone's, you know, the offerings and the things that people do. It's so varied, but the program still applies, and that's the, you know, amazing thing. It's super transferable. Did you, when you were considering embarking on One-to-Many, did you kind of did you have a real solid feel about your area of expertise, or did that change, or how did that work for you?
Yeah, so I'd recently, well, first of all, like lots of us, like I know lots of women watching, like my business is founded from my own experience, yeah? So like a chronic history of like never feeling good enough, of sort of knowing that I had something to offer, but feeling like lack of confidence, or not feeling able to really take that space up. So first of all, like I often see with women, like we've got all this skills or lived history, which is totally relevant, that we can bring into an offering. So I totally sort of knew that would probably be an area that I worked with, just because I've got all this lived history. Why would I not share it? And I'd done lots of training around meditation and mindfulness, and then embodiment training. I initially thought I was going to work with women and burnout, because that was also in my history. I'll say a bit more about that around how One-to-Many changed my life, but I had a history of burnout. And so I thought I was going to work with burnout, and I started in that area. And then over the last 2 years, like working with women, spotting these like shared patterns between us, like seeing like, oh, you know, I'm working with lots of one-to-one clients and they're all saying this. I could teach a program that covers all of this, and we could do it together. And wouldn't that be healing for us all to like be with one another and share that? So over the last 2 years, it's totally evolved into something different. Yeah. So I had a vague idea. I sort of knew the direction I was going in, and then I couldn't have predicted what emerged through actually doing it. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. That's great. So on that note, what would you say is your main success story of taking the programme?
Yeah, so I came in really late. I did it in October 2020. I started my business 5 months before that. And I was doing one-to-ones. And I came in really late. I think I came in like for the masterclass. So I hadn't done the challenge. And no, actually, I came in the day before cart closed, because I remember thinking, oh my God, like it was quite a lot of money to invest. And so I quickly like reviewed the kind of material. And what I really loved was just how straightforward Lisa broke it down and made what can seem like a really overwhelming and complex area of business just kind of step by step. No, do this, do this, do this. And it immediately like made me think of group programs and doing group programs, and that really changed my life in terms of income. So, you know, really being able to grow my income, and then also managing my energy. Yeah, so I have a history of burnout. I'm quite a sensitive being. I'm sensitive like cyclically, like in my menstrual cycle. I'm sensitive to the seasons. I don't stay steady. But setting up like a business according to one-to-many principles means that the business can stay steady even when I sort of go up and down, which is just huge to my nervous system, to, you know, that sort of underlying sense of safety in the world, which then means I can do my most creative, innovative work because I'm not worrying about finances or having to recover from burnout and things like that. I really think that like my life is quite peaceful now, quite steady. Yeah, that's the biggest change.
That sounds fantastic, and relieving that kind of day-to-day worry because you've got things in place, that must be very, very comforting.
Yeah, day-to-day worry, and also like I just don't think I'm designed to do a 9-to-5 job, you know, for endlessly. I just was always feeling like I was struggling with that, and there was like always a glass ceiling, like not being able to be my creative self. And so I just sort of feel like, my God, yeah, now I've got this sort of freedom to be able to navigate all of that and look after myself well, and look after the people I love. Like last year, I took my parents on holiday, which was huge, and then we all caught COVID. And the thing that felt most reassuring was like, if I needed to, I could pay for my dad to have private treatment. You know, like
Yeah.
that I felt like, oh, I've arrived now. You know, I've arrived. As
well, you mentioned that it was quite, you know, a bit of an investment for you, the course fee, but it sounds like it's been beneficial for you financially and has been a real investment.
Yeah, so I looked at the figures last night, and since one-to-many, I've earned just under 200k. So what's that, 2.5 years? And I would really say at the end of last year, I really changed. I had a membership program and I drew that to an end, and I'm changing that to like a signature program. So actually I had a huge drop in income for the last 6 months, but still over the last 2 years, it's just under 200,000 pounds that I've earned. So, and I think one-to-many paid for the investment in the first course that I ran afterwards, you know, in a little small group program. So yeah.
That's great to hear. Thank you for sharing that. That's brilliant. And do you have any advice? Do you have anything that you'd like to sort of tell people, or, you know, just share really?
Yeah, gosh. I mean, I think I've got two things to say. One is kind of practical and one is like bigger vision. But yeah, on the practical side, like I said at the start, I knew a sort of direction that I might want to go in, and then I have just listened to the women that I've been working with and spotted kind of trends, and I've changed the way that I've worked a few times since then. So I did small group programs, then I did a membership that ran for 1.5 years. Then lots of entrepreneurs were coming with me, so I started a sort of an entrepreneur small group coaching program. And then last year I took all of that and turned it into what will be like a signature program. So it just can evolve and you can learn as you go. That's a bit frightening, isn't it? Because you're sort of learning in public. But it's also just really exciting, because you can, where you start is not where you end up. And you can just keep adding different income streams or changing them. So I would just say, God, if you have an idea, start there and be prepared to just grow and learn. And I now feel like 2.5 years on, I feel like, oh, this year's going to be really exciting, because I think I've got to a point where I'm like, oh, this is more the shape of it for me. Like, this is how my one-to-many model looks for me. Yeah. So you can figure that out as you go. And then the other thing I just want to say is like, so yeah, I work with culture and I work with historical conditioning of women, and gosh, like the fact that we can start businesses from our laptops in our homes is wild, you know. So I know there's going to be lots of people in the group that like think, oh, what, I don't know what I have to offer, or I don't know, like, am I good enough? And I would just say, God, like, this is the first time we've had the chance to do this as women, and like, the world needs what we've got. Like, I totally think the world's in the state that it's in because we don't share what we know, we don't value it, and so God, just capitalize on this. Like, you've got this amazing opportunity. Don't let old conditioning stand in your way, because you can undo it. You can undo it through starting your own business. It's totally revolutionary, totally wild. So yeah, I'd love to have a conversation with Lisa about how revolutionary it is. But yeah, so 2 things, but figure it out as you go along, and like totally capitalize on this moment in history where we can do this, you know. Yeah,
that's such a great piece of advice. I think a lot of people are held back by their limiting beliefs, so just to have that, you know, affirmation, that's fantastic. I think that will help a lot of people. Thank you so much.
Yeah, totally.
I've really enjoyed hearing your story. Thank you so much for joining us, and hopefully it'll help other people as well. So thank you.
Yeah, totally. Lovely to get through this first interview with you, Karen. You did great.
We did it, I hope.
Yeah.
Take care. Thank you so much, Erika. Bye.